Imagine this. It's Sunday night around 8 p.m. You're sitting on your couch, and that familiar heavy pit starts forming in your stomach. The Sunday scaries. You start mentally cataloging the emails you didn't answer, the meetings you have to sit through tomorrow, and the fact that you have to trade the best 8 to 10 hours of your daylight to a company that would post your job opening before your obituary hit the local paper if you dropped dead tomorrow. You tell yourself it's okay because you have stability. You have a salary. But then you look at your bank account, then you look at the price of eggs, and then you look at the 2026 housing markets, and the math it doesn't add up. You're running a race on a treadmill that's being powered by a giant corporation, and no matter how fast you run, you're staying in the exact same spot. My name is Zach, and I spend way too much time thinking about the 9-to-5 wealth trap and the systemic failure of the salary mindset. If you're someone who feels like you're working harder than ever but falling further behind every single month, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Look, here's the thing. We've been sold a version of the American dream that was manufactured in the 1950s and has absolutely no relevance in 2026. Back then, a single 9-to-5 income could buy a house, 2 cars, and put 3 kids through college. Today, in 2026, the median home price in the US has crested $500,000. And with mortgage rates hovering where they are, you're looking at a $3,800 monthly payment for a starter home that needs a new roof. If you're earning a $100,000 salary, after the IRS takes their $14,260.50, and your state takes its $5,400, and you pay for your mandatory health insurance contribution of $450 a month, you're left with roughly $6,100. Subtract that mortgage, your $850 car payments, and $1,200 for groceries, and you have exactly $50 for wealth building. The math is screaming at us, people. Your 9-to-5 isn't a safety net, it's a wealth killer. It is a slow motion robbery of your most valuable asset, your time. Now, you might be thinking, but Zach, my job is safe. I have a 401k and dental insurance. Look, that is a dangerous lie. In 2026, a job is the riskiest financial asset you can own. Why? Because it's a single point of failure. If you have one boss, you have one person who can decide to reduce your income to zero on a Tuesday morning because a generative AI model can now do your data entry for $12 a month. If you're a business owner or an asset owner with 100 customers and one leaves, you're fine. If you're a 9-to-5 worker and your one customer, your employer, leaves, you're in a breadline. Here is the first bombshell. In 2026, saving money in a high-yield savings account is actually a form of slow-motion financial suicide. With real-world inflation on essentials like energy and insurance hitting 8% or 9%, that 4.5% interest the bank is generously giving you means you're losing 4% of your purchasing power every single year. You are literally paying the bank to hold your money while it rots. So why do we keep doing it? Why do we stay in the 9-to-5 cage? It's the psychology of loss aversion. Our brains are evolutionarily wired to fear losing what we have more than we value gaining something new. We would rather have a guaranteed $5,000 a month that barely covers our bills than risk a temporary drop to $2,000 for the chance to build an asset that pays us $20,000 a month in perpetuity. We are addicted to the biweekly hit of a paycheck. It's a financial drug that keeps us compliant and just comfortable enough to never leave, but just broke enough to never be free. And then there's lifestyle creep. This is the silent killer. You get a 3% raise, which, let's be honest, is actually a pay cut when the IRS brackets shift and the cost of living jumps by 6%. But you feel richer, so you upgrade the SUV or start getting the premium meal prep delivery. Suddenly, that $142.50 extra you made per month is gone before it even hits your account. You're trading more of your life for objects that depreciate the moment you touch them. Here's what most people don't realize. The IRS code was not written for you. If you are on a W-2 salary, you're the most heavily taxed entity in the United States. You pay taxes before you see your money. And as that owner, someone with a business, real estate, or a private equity stake receives their money, spends it on expenses to grow their wealth, and pays taxes on what's left. You are eating the scraps that the IRS leaves on your plate, while the wealthy are eating the whole steak and giving the IRS the bone. This is where it gets really interesting. The transition from a salary mindset to an asset mindset isn't about quitting your job tomorrow. That would be stupid. It's about changing what you do with that $6,100 take-home pay. Most people use their salary to buy stuff. Wealthy people use their salary to buy time. Every dollar you dump into a depreciating car is an hour of your future life you just sold back to the system. Every dollar you put into an income-producing asset, whether that's a dividend stock, a small digital business, or a fractional real estate share, is a brick in the wall of your freedom. I know what you're thinking. Zach, I don't have enough money to buy assets. That is another lie. In 2026, the barrier to entry for asset ownership has never been lower, yet the mental barrier has never been higher. You can buy a fractional share of a cash-flowing warehouse for $100. You can start a niche content site for $20. The problem isn't the capital, it's the employee mindset that tells you that work must be hard and involve a manager to be valid. Bombshell number 2. Your house is not an asset. I don't care what your realtor told you. An asset puts money in your pocket every single month in the form of taxes, maintenance, and interest. If you're banking on your home equity to retire in 2040, you're gambling on a market that is increasingly detached from reality. True assets are things that work when you sleep, not things you have to mow the lawn for. We have to break the psychological grip of the status game. We buy things to impress people we don't even like with money we haven't earned to stay in jobs we can't stand. It is a total shell game. The moment you stop caring about looking wealthy is the moment you actually have a chance at becoming wealthy. Look, the 2026 economy is not forgiving. We're seeing a massive K-shaped recovery. Those with assets are seeing their net worth explode because of asset inflation. Those with salaries are seeing their standard of living implode because of consumer inflation. You have to pick a side. You cannot sit in the middle anymore. The middle class is being liquidated. So here is your roadmap. Step 1, audit your time like a hawk. If you're spending 40 hours a week on a job and 20 hours a week on Netflix, you're choosing to stay an employee. Redirect 5 of those hours into building something you own. Step 2, aggressively cut status spending. If your car payment is more than 10% of your take-home pay, you're literally driving your retirement into a ditch. Step 3, buy your first income stream. It doesn't matter if it only pays you $5 a month. That $5 is the most important money you will ever earn because you didn't have to trade an hour of your life for it. The 9-to-5 is a wealth killer because it keeps you too busy to get rich. It fills your head with operational tasks, so you never have time for strategic thinking. But the math doesn't lie. You cannot salary your way to true freedom. You have to own a piece of the machine, or you will eventually be crushed by it. I know this is blunt. I know it's frustrating, but I'd rather you be mad at me today and wealthy in 5 years than happy with me today and broke in 20. The system is rigged, but the exit door is wide open. You just have to be willing to walk through it. If you're ready to stop being a salary slave and start building a portfolio that actually works as hard as you do, you need to watch my next video on the top 5 cash flow assets for 2026. I break down the exact math on where the smart money is moving right now. Hit that subscribe button, get to work on your own machine, and I'll see you in the next one.